Hello, I'm psychic medium Diane Gremmel, and today I am here with a wonderful guest. The New Era Times, an online newspaper for the New Era, has a fabulous columnist in Mariela Maya. She is an expert in shamanism, Incan shamanism, but more than that, she has a website called MayanCalendar.com and writes a regular column on the Mayan Wavespell, Mayan Astrology. And we are excited to hear all about this and how she changed her life to be on a new path. Welcome, Mariela.
Thank you so much, Diane. And
Thank
you
you.
to the New Era Times as well for having us.
Absolutely. And what fascinates me is that you are an MBA. You are someone who had an international career in business and were highly successful. You were at the height of your career. You had the job of your dreams. And suddenly you dropped it all. What happened? What changed things for you?
Well, I did that when I turned 40, the day I turned 40.
Okay.
And a lot of people say, oh, the midlife crisis. And for me, it was exactly the opposite. It was a big celebration. It was not a sudden decision. It was premeditated.
Was there one thing that led you to that direction?
In reality, doing that when I turned 40, yes.
Okay.
There was a person my same age that died.
Okay.
And a very, very successful person in business and very successful financially speaking. Beautiful person inside, outside. She was 44 years old and she was having some discomfort, but she was too busy to take care of it and she died. So I knew, there's a beautiful saying, I knew that one day I would take this path, but I didn't know it was going to be today. And that's what happened when I decided to do it when I turned 40. I knew I would do it, but not exactly in that time.
And part of it was discovering the Mayan calendar and starting to understand the way the cycles worked in people's lives, correct?
Absolutely. And in reality, what happened in my own path is that I started consciously with it in 1999, way before that, but consciously starting a beautiful path of unfolding synchronicities and beauty and just magic. And I've been doing that for myself for 30 years, consciously 13 since I got familiar with the Mayan calendar. When I was getting closer to take the decision of letting go of the corporate world is because I realized that my purpose, my mission in life was different. I was very busy, I was traveling a lot, I lived on airplanes.
That's the life, believe it or not, a lot of American citizens strive for. We want the success, we want to do the travel, we want to have the money and own things. And so you found this was no longer fulfilling for you.
I loved my job, but I didn't have time to fully dedicate my life to what I consider my life purpose, my mission in life. And everything I've been doing in my own path for this time, I felt that it was time for me to have time to be there for others. And traveling so much and being so busy, it was just not possible, practically speaking.
So if you were to say you redefined yourself at the age of 40, who is Mariela Maya now?
The same one that Mariela Maya was before. The difference is that now I have the time to really be there for others and share with others my path with the intention of accompanying others people's processes.
So sharing your spiritual path is very important.
Absolutely.
And to some degree, the Mayan calendar has influenced that for you, right?
For sure.
Was there a moment when you looked at this and said, this makes sense now and I understand the way everything works?
That's absolutely a great question because every day we take tons of decisions. Many of them don't make too much sense in the moment.
Yeah.
And then when we look backwards and we start putting the puzzle together, everything makes so much sense.
It always does when you travel backwards, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So yes, answering to your question, we'll talk a little bit about that later, about the Mayan calendar and how I follow the energies and I dress with the colors of the day. And it has been a lot of fun to do that, and I love to have now the time to share it with others.
That's what I wanted to ask is, when we get into this, is this something that we can all do? Can we all look at the different days and say, today is a red day, or today is a white day, or today, and follow that? That's something you help people to do, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
very important for me to clarify, I don't want to teach the
Mm-hmm.
Tzolk'in, the sacred Mayan calendar.
Mm-hmm.
I want to...
And again, it is called?
Tzolk'in.
The Tzolk'in.
The
Okay.
Tzolk'in. My intention is to use it as
Mm-hmm.
a tool
Mm-hmm.
for awakening, for
Okay.
developing our own path.
Okay.
When I teach it with that intention. To make sure that people connect with it
Mhm.
the way, at least I want to transmit it, the way it helped me.
Okay.
And it's a lot of fun.
So you actually write a column called the Mayan Wavespell, correct?
Mhm.
I know it's one of the most popular columns with the New Era Times, and everyone seems to want to tune into it.
Mhm.
And one of the reasons I feel like, again, we as Americans have always been fascinated by Mayan prophecy. We were waiting for 2012. There were actually people I know who were waiting for the end of the world.
No.
And so I think there was a lot of misunderstanding.
Mhm.
But so the Mayan calendar ended a cycle in 2012.
Mhm.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
We talk about the Mayan calendar. There's 17 Mayan calendars
Yes, that's what, yes.
or more.
Yes, there are a lot of.
And
They follow different cycles, correct?
different cycles.
Okay.
And that's what the Mayans did. They were just very connected with the moment, with the cycles, looking at nature, at the
Fractal
planets.
patterns that are out there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And they were recording that. That's what the calendars are.
Okay.
So each calendar is cyclic. It doesn't have a
Okay.
beginning and an end. An end is a beginning of a new cycle.
So if every 17 days or every 9 days we see this pattern in nature, they had a different calendar for it.
they had different calendars for it.
Okay.
The one that ended December 21st, 2012
Yes.
was the long count calendar.
Okay.
And it seems the end of the world because it's a 5,125 years, so it's a
Okay.
long calendar, and how blessed we are of being part of the shift.
Oh, yes.
And it was the end of a world age. It was not the end of the world, it was the end of a world age. So
Okay.
people forgot in the media and Hollywood to put the age at the end of the sentence. It's a very, very beautiful, as I said before, opportunity for us to be part of that shift.
So when you talk about the shift, I know that in Western astrology they talk about the age of Pisces, the age of Aquarius. Okay. If you were to say that the last age was an age of something, how would you define the last age that we've just come out of?
Well, you just mentioned a very similar pattern.
Okay.
Age of Pisces, Age of Aquarius.
Uh-huh.
All the prophecies that are meeting right now, not December
Mhm.
21st precisely, and a lot of the living Mayan are not talking about December 21st. They're
Mhm.
talking about this time. So
Yes.
not one day, it's a
A
process.
larger, yes.
The same with the Age of Pisces, Age of Aquarius.
Okay.
And all say the same. All traditions, all cultures in the
Mhm.
world say the same. It's time to live a heart-centered life. It's time to become aware of who we truly are. It's time to go back to our roots, to remember who we are and what we're here for. It's time to share with others our gifts, our message, our path, what helps us maybe can help others as well. So the idea of community, of sharing on a heart level, of going out of the automatic pilot we're so used to, and after 21 years in the corporate world, running and timing and schedules and deadlines and productivity and the world of appearances, and you have to always be like this, and maybe sometimes you're just sad and you need to be with your own self and in introspection. So going back to our natural rhythms, living consciously as we are nature.
Well, that brings us to another question. You made a very strong decision to go from one lifestyle to another. But a lot of people with this shift, I've noticed, are having a very difficult time. They're complaining about the energy isn't resonating correctly. They're having a lot of difficulty, distraction, stress. Some people are even acting out in astoundingly negative ways. So how can we as a race, as the human race, help ourselves to adjust to this energy?
I feel that 100% of human beings, including me, are going through that. So it's not that the shift is and everything is perfect and everything is wonderful. On a body level, on a physical level, I'm afraid I can speak for humanity.
Okay.
Feeling tired, feeling stressed, having sometimes pain that we cannot explain what it is. We go to doctors.
This is normal right now.
It's absolutely normal.
Okay.
And it has an explanation because why it's happening. The old is falling, the new is emerging. New frequencies, new vibrations are coming to our planet. So
Okay.
it's a global shift. Our planet is just a little tiny part of it. As human beings, we're going through a whole recalibration of a way of being on all levels, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, reconnecting with the source. So our body, as the sacred temple of our soul, is going through major adjustments.
So the souls who are present at this time in history are very brave to be here in a way, because
I do believe so.
it is a time of extremes and transformation.
And opportunities and beauty. And that's the thing. We're going through that transition that we can see it as a birth canal.
Okay.
There's a beautiful map by John Major Jenkins that he's one of the Mayan scholars that is most known by 2012, December 21st. And if we see what happened or what is happening, our sun and all its system has been moving to the center of the galaxy. It has been said that on that day, again in a period of time, we were aligned, our planet Earth, the sun, and the center of the galaxy. For the Mayans, that's where Hunabku is. Hunabku is the god of the gods, all that is, life giver. So we're aligned with the pulsations of Hunabku.
Okay.
And that transition, what we were saying before, of adjustment, is happening right now, is happening as we speak. And it will continue, so it's not an overnight shift.
So those of us who are very out of alignment with the spiritual are going to be having some difficult issues. And all of us are probably out of alignment in some way with the spiritual, correct?
Absolutely.
So those are the physical issues we're dealing with, the emotional issues we're dealing with. And some of it does seem to be coming out in violent ways, even.
Yes.
Releases of this old energy. And so that's something that we should expect to release gradually over the next few years, correct?
Absolutely, and that's why it's also important for each one of us to become responsible of our own path. That's the energy of today, the yellow human, using my free will for my own path and for the highest good.
When you said yellow human, so there are different colors that connect in the Mayan prophecy. There are different colors that connect with different days. This is the astrology that you use, correct?
It's a great question because it's not related to the prophecies. It's
Okay.
not related to the long calendar. It's
Okay.
related to the Tzolk'in.
Okay.
And the
Tzolk'in is one of the calendars. The long
is
okay.
one of the calendars.
Okay.
And it's important to make a distinction that now with 2012 and the Mayan calendar becoming more and more available to all of us, there are two counts that are being followed in the Tzolk'in.
Okay.
The traditional count and the modern count.
But not the long count. That's over.
The long count, a whole new cycle just started.
Okay.
So we are in the first months of a 5,125 years.
Okay.
So all calendars, they coexist at the same time.
There are different cycles and rhythms within
Cycles
yes.
and rhythms that they are all the time interweaving in a
Yes.
very harmonic way.
Yes.
The one that connects them all is the Tzolk'in, and that's the one that we follow on a daily basis. That's the
Okay.
one when we do Mayan astrology that is related to our sign, to our...
So today is a yellow day.
yes.
Okay, so the different colors relate to different energies during the days.
There are only 4 colors,
Okay.
and they're always in the same order. It's red, white, blue, yellow.
Okay.
So if today is a yellow day, we know that tomorrow is going to be
a red day.
very good, and tomorrow is the red Skywalker. So one thing that I want to clarify in regards to the confusion that is behind the Mayan calendar. First of all, there are several Mayan calendars. That's
Right.
the first important thing to clarify. And second, in regards to the token itself, there are two counts that are being followed.
Okay.
The traditional one is followed mainly in Guatemala by the living Mayas. It's called Cholqui, not Tzolkin.
And how large is the Maya population in Guatemala?
I don't know.
Okay.
And yes, I don't know. But it's not only for the Tzolkin, the Mayan population. It's by the day keepers. The day keepers is a smaller group.
Okay.
That they are the ones that keep track of the days for a long time. The one that we follow in the Western world mainly, and the one that I follow, how I became familiar with the token, is the modern count. They have some differences in names. Let's say Eb, that is the original name in Yucatecan. It is translated in a modern version as the yellow human. In the traditional count, it's called road or path. And we're like, what does it mean? I choose my road, I choose my path. I have the free will to decide where to go and what to do with my life. Right. Yellow human, it's exactly the same.
So when you talk about the human or you talk about the Skywalker, these are like glyphs. These are how many of these characters are there?
Western astrology has 12 signs.
Yes.
Mayan astrology has 20 signs.
Okay.
Or 20 glyphs, or 20 archetypes, or 20 energies, or 20 signs. We also call it in different ways. And I will share for a second. This is my CD. We can talk about it later. But here are the 20 energies.
Oh, okay.
And they go from the red dragon, the power of initiation, the power of birth, new beginnings.
Okay.
And the last one is the yellow sun, the power of illumination, the life giver.
I see.
So every sign in between the red dragon and the yellow sun, they have a purpose and they have a meaning.
It's part of the cycle.
It's part of the cycle.
Okay.
And that's, well, now that I have it in my hands, why I called my CD From Conscious Rebirth to Illumination, going from the red dragon through all the vibrations, loving vibrations of sound, until the yellow sun of illumination.
So going through the 20 signs, this is something that anyone can do and find out what their sign is?
Yes, there are many converters, as it's called in the website. My website has
and that's www.mayanken.com. Okay.
It's important to put the N after Mayan because there's another website. So it's mayanken.com. And where it says today's energies, you go to the daily token and you can check there not only the energies of the day, but also your own energies. You can do your own oracle there.
Okay.
And your beloved
And this
ones.
will help us understand what it is that we need to do. So I'm curious. You talked about tomorrow is the day of the Red Skywalker. When I went to your site and put my birth date in, it stated that I was a Red Skywalker. So does that make tomorrow a good day for me, or does it just make it a day?
Well, that's a very, very good question.
Okay.
In spirituality, there's no good or bad. There are days that are more favorable than others. There are days that are better to connect on a rational level or just not doing much and feeling. So there are days that are related to different aspects of our being. The Red Skywalker is the adventurer, the one that looks for new horizons, the one that walks the skies, bringing sky to earth on a daily basis, the messenger. So if you are a Red Skywalker from birth, tomorrow is an awesome day because...
But every day is an awesome day.
Every day is an awesome day. And that's the message that is the most important message actually with any tool or any practice or any method that we use in our spiritual path. Not being afraid of, and that's going back as well to the age of Aquarius and the new world age, living a heart-centered life, choosing out of love instead of out of fear. So all the signs, we can see them from both sides. The yellow human, I feel victim of my circumstances. I had a horrible whatever, childhood, marriage, job, so I cannot choose my
Or
path.
look at this wonderful opportunity I had to learn when I was a child and how I can move ahead with
That's
it.
exactly what it is. And the same with the Red Skywalker.
Right.
If I have a lot of baggage, if my backpack is too heavy, how can I explore new horizons? I need to open my backpack, symbolically speaking, see what is there, and start releasing and letting go of what no longer serves my purpose. So every day can be seen from both sides, and that's the light and the shadow.
So we want to see the light side of each day, and that's part of what your website helps people to do, correct?
Yes.
So I could go on there and find out that today you said is a yellow human day?
Correct.
And find out what is an auspicious behavior for me to exhibit on a yellow human day, correct? And it's the energy to do certain things.
To do certain things.
Okay.
And next to the map where all the energies are, the
Okay.
260 combinations.
So let me stop you real quick. There are 260 combinations.
There are 20 energies.
Okay.
And there are 13 numbers.
Okay.
So if you're a Red Skywalker, there are 13 Skywalkers. We need to see which number you are.
Okay.
I'm yellow star. There are 13 yellow stars. So 20 by 13 gives the cycle of 260.
So there are 260 different ways of being. And so in a calendar year, in our Western calendar, 365 days, you might see one of those days only once, correct?
Excellent. The token cycle is 260 days.
Okay.
The annual cycle is 365 days.
Okay.
They both meet on the same day every 52 years.
Wow. Okay.
Every 52 solar cycles, there are 73 token cycles.
Mm-hmm.
What it means, that's another calendar of the 17, the calendar round. The calendar round is when the hub, the annual cycle, meets with the token, meaning when we turn 52, that it is our conscious rebirth. For 18,980 days, we have different energies.
That is amazing.
When we turn 52, we start the whole cycle again. When we become 53, 1, 54, 2.
It's amazing because there are things in, like a Chiron crossing around that time in Western astrology that are similar. And so it's interesting to me how all of these different disciplines really do follow simply the cycles of nature and the fractals of the universe. It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So if you had a message for everyone out there, what would your message be today? I know we're low on time, so I would love it if you had something that just you wanted to say to the audience, a message you'd like to share.
I'll say to the audience.
Okay.
Have fun. Be happy. That's what we're here for. And we all have things. We all have situations that we have to deal with, but we're not here to struggle. We're not here to suffer. We're here to enjoy life. And we will have life lessons to grow and evolve. So my message is, remember that we're not only human beings, we're also spiritual beings. And when we, with very simple things like breathing consciously, being in the now, connecting with nature, being more ritualistic in what we do. In my case, what I wear, everything has a meaning, and a very simple meaning. Today's the yellow human, guided by the yellow seed. The seed is from Peru, and it connects me with Pachamama, Mother Earth. I have a ring that is wood, the sun, the yin-yang, the light and the shadow. This is the sun as well, but it's made out of seashell. Here I have a little feather, so I have balanced.
You celebrate every day.
Every day.
Yes.
And that's why I'm sharing in very simple ways we can connect with joy, with being in balance. And it's a process, step by step. And one day will be higher, and one day will be lower, and we go. And as we see in nature, it's all about cycles, so it's not that once we start evolving consciously, everything is perfect. Things will happen, but we will have more tools and a different attitude, a different approach, how to deal with those situations.
Wonderful. And Mariela Maya's website is www.mayan, ken.com. It is wonderful, and I had so much fun finding out about myself, as we all do, and there's so much to find out about your friends and other people and what's going on an everyday basis. So Mariela Maya from the New Era Times, bless you for the wonderful column that you do.
Thank you.
We are grateful for you for being here. Thank you, Mariela Maya, and from the New Era Times, thank you and have a great day.